Don't waste your money on these products if you have similar preferences to me. In this video, I'm sharing the curly hair products that didn't work for me, why I think they didn't work, and who I think they might be better for instead. I'm also going to include some alternative products that are similar to the ones that didn't work for me and that I recommend instead. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina, and here I make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love simplifying things and really helping you problem solve with your curls. So if you enjoy that type of video, make sure you subscribe before you go. I just wanted to clarify that this is not me bashing on certain products or brands. Some products just don't work for me, but they might work for you. So if you love any of these products, you do not need to stop using them just because I don't like them. Everyone's hair is so different, and that's why I want to explain in this video why I don't think they worked for me and who they might work better for, because not everything is going to work for everyone, unfortunately. So I hope that's clear that it's not necessarily me saying don't buy these products. It's just they didn't necessarily work for me, and here's why. The first category is going to be shampoos that were just too harsh for my hair type. When it comes to shampoos, my issues with shampoos is either they're too harsh, like they leave my hair feeling like hay, which is not always a bad thing, but if there's alternatives that don't do that, I'm gonna go with those. And then my other major issue with shampoos is when I rinse them out and I still have a residue on my scalp, then it didn't cleanse my hair and it's not strong enough. So typically I like stronger shampoos. Now this product might come as a surprise to you because I just featured it in a recent video, but that is the Suave Daily Clarifying Shampoo. Now I wanted to clarify, no pun intended, that this product is a really good clarifying shampoo, almost too good to where it was very stripping on my hair. Now, the only reason I'm including it in this video is because there are other options that are not going to dry your hair out this bad and will still do an effective job at cleansing the hair. However, if you're someone on a budget and you want a cheap clarifying shampoo, or maybe you're in a pinch and you want to pick something up at your local grocery store or your drugstore, this is a really great option. It's only about $2. It's just so stripping that even after deep conditioning, my hair felt very dry. Now, it could have been a combination of other things. You can watch my recent video if you want to see what I'm talking about. But I was really struggling with my hair in that routine because I just didn't have enough moisture, and I think it was just a combination of things. So I will still be recommending this for a cheap drugstore option, but there are other ones that I will reach for that are still very strong but don't leave my hair feeling like that. And that one is actually from Twist. So this is a few more dollars. I believe the Twist products range anywhere from $5 to $10. They're not more than $10 usually. This is the Twist by Ouidad Hit Reset Light Clarifying Shampoo. This is a pretty strong shampoo. Like, it has ammonium lauryl sulfate as the second ingredient, which I don't believe is like as strong as traditional sodium lauryl sulfate. I could be wrong though, but I find this to be a lot more moisturizing. It has aloe in it. It has some other humectants in it like glycerin, and it just has more moisturizing ingredients. There's a few oils in here, but they're low on the list, and it is very cleansing. Like, my hair feels very clean, but it's not so dry throughout the entirety of my routine. Like, it doesn't dry out my hair, whereas with this one, very simple ingredients, little to no moisturizing ingredients in here at all. It's just a pure, like, super strong clarifying shampoo. This does remove hard water minerals, by the way, and this one does not technically. Like, it doesn't have the ingredients that are known to remove hard water minerals, but it's still a really great clarifying shampoo. There's other hard water shampoos that I do recommend that aren't as stripping as this too, by the way. I just didn't have one that was super cheap to recommend, but I'll definitely be on the search for something even more affordable for hard water that doesn't strip your hair. On the other end of things, shampoos that are not cleansing enough. This is probably the most common thing that I come across when I'm trying shampoos, especially curly hair shampoos. I'm not a fan of co-washes, mainly because I want more cleansing in my hair. I think they only have a purpose if you just need to rewash your hair, but your scalp isn't necessarily dirty, but you need to rewash. This is the Bread Hair Wash Gentle Milky Hair Cleanser. I believe I tried this in a Q&A video that I did a while back. I didn't show using it, but I had used it in that routine. I need to go back and see what I said about it then, but it did not cleanse my hair enough. It was just too moisturizing. This is more along the lines of a co-wash. Even though it is a liquid shampoo, it acted like a co-wash in my hair in particular. So I just need more cleansing ability. Bread products are very expensive, and I'm sure they're very high quality, so it's probably just my preferences in needing more cleansing ability. So perhaps it could be something that you use mid-week, or maybe you're a swimmer and you don't want to strip your hair, but you need to wash every day. This is more something you would want to look for, but for me, I had too much residue on my scalp. I kept re-shampooing, and I still had it, so I know it wasn't effective enough for me. So the alternative that I have to share is the Curlsmith Essential Moisture Cleanser. This is the most gentle shampoo that I have tried that is still effective at cleansing. Now I might have to use this 2 times, but after 2 shampoos, like I'll shampoo twice in a row, like shampoo, rinse it out, shampoo again. I usually do that anyways, but this will actually get my hair clean and it's very moisturizing. I will say that this will deposit some of that very moisturizing ingredients onto your hair. Like your hair will feel almost like it has conditioner in it after rinsing this out. I still use their essential moisture conditioner after this as well, but you might not even need it if your hair isn't very dry. It's very moisturizing. It has lots of oils in it. It has aloe, super moisturizing. And I actually prefer this over their co-wash. The Curlsmith co-wash is like one of the few co-washes that I actually don't mind, but again, I won't use it as my only cleanser, but this is like one step up in terms of cleansing ability. Still effective, but not too stripping and very moisturizing. So I will usually use this if I like just wash my hair, but I need to rewash it or something like that. Stay tuned for styling products because we're going to get into those next, and I've got some good drugstore gels to recommend. So the biggest category for me is probably styling products or gels that didn't have enough hold. So I am somebody who loves a good strong hold product because I don't want to have to do a ton of refreshing to my hair, and I like my hair to last, and I don't want to have to refresh, and I want it to last throughout the day. I feel like light hold stylers, they have their place, and I definitely do still incorporate them a lot. Like I'll experiment with light hold gels, mainly in the winter and the fall when I don't deal with a lot of humidity. And I just know I'm gonna have to refresh the next day when using them. That's not a huge deal. But I get asked about this brand all the time from you guys in DMs, and that is the Lus or LUS Love Your Curls brand. I get asked about this so much. I have tried this before. This is their all-in-one styler for curly hair. They have different ones for curl types, and that's a whole nother thing that I don't necessarily agree with, but this did not work for me at all because I don't like that it's marketed as an all-in-one product, but it gives no hold. Like if you're using just this and your hair is frizzing by the end of the day, this is why. It does not provide enough hold. This is mainly a curl cream. I would consider this a lightweight curl cream, and that's how I would categorize it because that's all it does is it provides moisture. Maybe styles in terms of helping to clump the curls. Like sometimes styling creams can enhance the appearance of your curls, but it's mainly gels that do that heavy lifting of defining the curls and helping to create curl shape and helping the curls stay in place. This is definitely not going to do that for you, at least it didn't for me, which I'm surprised because it has polyquaternium ingredients in it, which are one of my favorite ingredients for hold and humidity protection, but you can still have those ingredients in a product and it not have hold. I've tried a ton of products actually that don't have hold. It's usually the amount and then the combination and the other ingredients that are in there that are making it not have hold, or it's the type of polyquaternium ingredients. Some of them are just moisturizing. So super moisturizing. This is a good lightweight cream, but that's all I would use it for, not as an all-in-one styler, which is my main issue with it. I had zero hold with it. If you did want to try the Lus brand, then I would at least recommend their Irish Sea Moss gel, but this also didn't work very well for me. Well, I guess I should say that I had great results. Like I had a ton of volume, lots of definition, but it didn't last for me. I had to do refreshing because this is a light hold product for me. This is labeled as medium hold. I could maybe get medium hold if I use a lot or if I kind of layer some more onto dry hair. I might get medium hold with this, but this is not going to give you enough hold either. So if you're using this and you're wondering why you have frizz, that's probably why. I've talked to so many of you who get the 3-step system from Lus, and when you're just starting out with your curls and then you're getting a ton of frizz and wondering why, it's because their stylers don't have enough. I'm waiting on them to come out with a strong hold gel. I would definitely try that because I think they have good ingredients. It's a very natural product. Like there's very natural extracts in here, lots of natural ingredients that create a film on the hair. But in my opinion, film forming ingredients are not enough hold. Like those very natural gels, great that they're natural, but I want some like of those synthetic polyquaternium ingredients to actually give me hold. I think that those are just much more effective at long-term hold compared to getting hold just from your aloe or just from your sea moss. Like to me, that's not really enough hold, at least for my hair type. Now, who I do think that this could be good for, I keep forgetting to mention that for each category. I think if you have wavy hair that isn't very frizzy, you could probably get away with just using this. Like if you prefer just using a cream, or maybe you want to use a little bit of a cream and a mousse, like you could definitely get away with just this. Same with this one. If your hair is lower porosity, I think this is a really good option because you probably don't need a ton of hold. If you have low porosity hair, it's probably not as frizzy and those film forming ingredients that are in this are really great at moisturizing low porosity hair. So that's who I think this would work well for, but for my high porosity hair, definitely didn't give me enough hold. So I would then recommend the Twist by Ouidad Weather Up Gel. This is a great affordable gel, especially for beginners. It's super lightweight, so if everything weighs down your hair, this is a good one to try because it's pretty low in moisture. I like to use a curl cream underneath. Actually, the Twist Weather Up cream is a good one to use underneath, but this is a super lightweight gel. This gives me medium hold. I can build it up. It's not as strong hold as my other Ouidad gel that I use, but it does a good job at protecting from humidity. I just have to do some refreshing with it. Has lots of different polyquats in it, so this is definitely a good one too. The next one is an entire line of stylers, and that's the Curl Wow Curl product. So I only have the Flow Entry Vital Natural Serum on hand because I threw away the other one. But the other styler in this line that's designed to be used with it is called the Shook Mix and Fix, I think it's called, where you shake it up and it separates. It's like purple and blue. That product, I'll put it up here on the screen, but they're designed to be used together. So this is sort of like the moisturizing step, I think. And then the spray is supposed to be like a styler. I've never had luck with just plain old spray products. Like they just leave a very texturized feeling on my hair, but it claims to tame frizz. It claims to hold the curls, and it's supposed to be a styler. But my main issue with the two products is I had zero hold and it felt super producty. Like I don't like when my hair feels gross, and it definitely did, probably because I used a ton of product trying to give it hold and get my hair to have that frizz protection, but it just didn't at all. So it says this serum mimics your scalp's natural oil sebum. So I'm sure the technology in it is good, like it sounds like it is. It's just not enough of a styler to use by itself. So the serum plus that mix and fix or whatever, like I could not use that as my main styling product. I need a gel for hold. So for me, just didn't give me any hold, and I didn't like how my hair felt. Not to mention the products are $30 and $38. If I'm going to spend $38 on a hair product, it better be an amazing gel that like lasts for days. So for me, the price point and all just wasn't worth it, but I have heard like the technology in it is great. So I'm sure, but just didn't work out for me. I'm not sure who that might work well for. Maybe wavy hair. Again, I could see like a spray working well for wavy hair that's not super frizzy. If you guys have tried the Curl Wow line, let me know. I did really like the detangler. That's actually a pre-shampoo detangler that I do use all the time and recommend from that line. That's like the one product from that line that I really did like. So I used that before I shampoo to remove tangles. Next up is a new one that I just recently tested out when I ordered a bunch of drugstore products, and that's the Aussie Curl Miracles Mousse. This is the one with coconut oil. So I originally went with this one because mousse can be pretty drying on the hair, so I wanted something that's more moisturizing, and it says it has coconut oil, and it claims maximum hold, which is my biggest issue with this. I had zero hold. It was so bad. I shared my results to my Instagram stories. That's kind of where I document when I'm testing stuff like this. If you haven't seen it in a video, it probably is saved on my story highlights on Instagram, but I had no hold. Like my hair was frizzy when I finished diffusing. That's a good sign your gel or your styler doesn't have enough hold, is if your hair is frizzy right after you diffuse, like no crunch in it or anything. It just was very soft. So if anything, it just moisturized my hair, but it didn't give me any hold. I'd heard such good things though about the Aussie Miracle Curls Mousse. I think I need to try the other one that doesn't have coconut oil in it and just plan to use a cream underneath, because my hair will probably be dry with that. But I've heard that that's the better one and the one I should have ordered. So I messed up when getting this one. But the alternative that I would recommend is this Curl Talk Mousse. So this is one of my all-time favorite products. This is the Curl Activating Mousse. This says it provides level 2 hold, but I think it's strong hold. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot stand when brands mess up the hold level. I don't know who they're testing this on or how they're using it, but they're always so inaccurate. Like it drives me crazy. This says level 2 hold. I would consider this probably a 4 in terms of hold, and maybe it's just how I apply it. And I know everyone's hair is different as well. Like you could try a product that gives me hold and not have hold. There's a billion factors that go into that. And same with products that are not giving me hold, you might get hold with them. So it really just depends on your hair, but this is gonna give you much more hold than this one, and it's a really great affordable drugstore mousse. Highly recommend this. I do still usually use a cream underneath. I usually will use the Curl Talk cream underneath of that for moisture. The next category I have are stylers that were just too texturizing for me, and some of them also didn't get hold, but the main issue was that producty feeling, just like the Curl Wow products that I just talked about. Sticking with the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk line, this is the original Frizz Control Sculpting Gel. This did not work for me at all, even though I know it's a good gel that so many people love, but it just didn't give me enough hold. It says level 3, flexible firm hold. I consider this like a 2. No hold in this. You can see I used quite a bit. I think I was layering it with the mousse when I was using it. It's pretty old. I've had this one for a while, but this is like the original gel in the line. The other issue I have with this gel is it leaves me a producty buildup feeling, and I do get some residue left over on my hair. Like I have to use a pretty strong shampoo to get it out, and I think that's just the thick ingredients. I really don't like gels that are very thick and sticky. I like more of a running gel. So the alternative that I would recommend for that Curl Talk gel is their hard hold version. So this has a similar formula, so I don't love the formulation because it is thick, but I can work with it if I use a ton of water, but I get great results with this. This is their Lasting Definition Hard Hold Gel. So this is a level 5 hold. I actually agree with that hold level. I find that pretty accurate. So it definitely does give you a lot of hold. It's just thick. Like it's one of those thick sticky gels, so that can be a little bit difficult to work with if you have very tangly hair like mine. So again, it's just not my preferred formulation, but I do like the hold level and I like my results. Like I definitely get those very like plump defined curls with that. Next product that gave me a texturized feeling that I didn't love was the Aveda Confixer Liquid Gel. So I actually tried this in a video where I was recreating my old curly hair routine back before I even knew anything about curls and before I was fully embracing my naturally curly hair. So many of you had mentioned that this gel is liquidy, like you can see it's very liquidy. I liked the consistency of it, but it did leave me a producty, sticky feeling on my hair after it was dried. I think because I used a lot of it, because I didn't feel like I was getting hold out of it. Plus it's like super watery, so I was being heavy-handed. So I think I probably used too much, but if I didn't use a lot, I wouldn't have had enough hold. So I definitely don't think this is a firm hold at all. It says medium hold. I could see that maybe being medium, maybe like light to medium, just depending on how you apply it. But for me, didn't give me enough hold. I still had quite a bit of frizz and I didn't like how my hair felt with it. So that was the biggest issue. You can watch that video to kind of see my thoughts and my thought process as I was using it, but I was just a little bummed at my results by the end of the day. But it wasn't bad. Like if I had to use it again, I would, but maybe I would tweak it and just not use as much and just know that it isn't going to give me as much hold as I usually like. I'm sure y'all know that I was going to recommend this gel at some point as an alternative, and that's the Weeded Advanced Climate Control Stronger Hold Gel. This is one of my all-time favorite gels. I recommend it all the time because it has a perfect consistency and it also lasts a long time. I would say that's the biggest advantage of this one is I don't have to really refresh, and when I do refresh, it's super easy to refresh and it protects my hair from humidity. So this is very liquidy, just like that Confixer. It has some similar ingredients. It contains protein, but it doesn't leave that sticky feeling. This makes my hair very soft and also very like slippery and slimy. Like it has a ton of slip, which I love that consistency because I've got some coarse areas that get very tangly and brittle feeling, and that one definitely makes it feel very soft. The next category is going to be stylers that didn't give me enough moisture. This is another issue that I have because I have dry hair, especially the coarse areas. I need quite a bit of moisture in my stylers, which I know is difficult with gel, but I don't like gels that dry out my hair. If you didn't notice, I'm really picky with gels. Like if I could create one product, it would be a gel and it would probably take me 10 years to develop. But this is the Aussie Instant Freeze Gel. So I think I tested this on Instagram again, but it's been a long time. But I'd heard so much hype about this. All of you girlies who love the really strong hold and you like the drugstore products had recommended this. But for me, it just didn't give me enough moisture. And I think I even used a cream under it. I need to watch back to see. I don't even know if I still have those stories, but I definitely would need a ton of cream with this. But it not only wasn't moisturizing enough, but it also dried my hair out. So the next day, I had like crispy, dull hair that was not shiny. It was falling limp, and I had that halo frizz all over. That's usually from not having enough moisture. So this says it has jojoba oil and sea kelp. That definitely didn't give me enough moisture, even though that sounds moisturizing. I don't know what's in here that dried it out. It has aloe as like the third ingredient. It has polyquinternium, so that should be good, but there's only one jojoba seed oil, and then that's pretty much it. It has like copolymer and acrylates, and I think those are two ingredients that I just don't really like in my products because again, that gives that thick texture that's really sticky. This is one of those thick, clear gels that's hard to work with, which most drugstore gels are like that. That's why I've been on a mission lately to find good drugstore gels that are more liquidy. Like if you saw my recent routine where I was testing out a Hask gel that was much more liquidy. So I'm trying to find more drugstore gels to recommend to you guys because they're always that thick, sticky formula. So an alternative to a lightweight gel that's also strong hold that I would recommend from the drugstore is the Goddess Curls Botanical Gel. I really actually like this gel. So this is one of the drugstore gels that I have really enjoyed, and it doesn't dry out my hair. Now I do usually use the Goddess, I can't remember the exact name, the curl cream that looks just like this. I will usually use that underneath first. Using it by itself, I do feel a little dry, I think, on day 2 when I do that. But this gives me pretty strong hold. I don't think it says the hold level, but I get pretty strong hold out of this. It doesn't have glycerin in it either, which I think is another reason why a lot of you like the Aussie gel. Some of you try and avoid glycerin. I don't personally find that I need to avoid glycerin as long as the product has humidity blocking ingredients in it too. I don't need to avoid glycerin. In fact, my hair dries out when I don't have glycerin. So glycerin-free products typically dry my hair, but this has sorbitol as the second ingredient, which is another humectant, just like glycerin. Glycerin, just the more powerful humectant. The consistency is kind of thick, but it's not as thick as some of the other gels. It's more of like a medium weight. The next line of stylers I don't have on hand that were drying for me, but that's the Evolve brand. Now this is a pretty popular brand when it comes to very natural products, like they're known for being super natural and they're very lightweight. This line in particular, so I use the curl cream and the gel. So I use the Super Curl, which is like their curl cream styler, and then the Dream Gel, which is the gel that's labeled as strong hold. So I use those two together. I'll put up photos on the screen since I don't have them on hand. They expired, so I ended up throwing them out, but those just did not work for me at all. Like I had no hold at all in my hair, and I had a ton of dry frizz. I can always tell, like I said, when it's dry frizz because it just kind of sticks up like static all over the place, and my hair felt dry, especially by the end of the day. So I got zero hold out of this styling routine. My hair was super dry, so they're just very lightweight moisture. Actually, I do now remember that I think about it, that conditioner not giving me pretty much any moisture at all, it just being way too lightweight. And I knew going into it that those stylers and that conditioner was very lightweight, but just too lightweight for me. But I've heard people love the Evolve line who have very fine hair and people who don't need much moisture, who get weighed down very easily. So if that is you and you just cannot find styling products that are light enough, maybe check out the Evolve products. I just need more moisture for my hair, unfortunately. The next category are refreshers. So you probably don't really see me talk about refreshing products very often, and that is because I like to just use the same stylers that I used on wash day. I don't really think it's necessary to buy additional refreshing products because I think you get more buildup and more of a producty feeling when you're layering on different products than what's already in your hair. The only thing I will use are like dry shampoos or foaming dry shampoos. Like I have definitely used those, or scalp mist, but I don't usually use another product to refresh my curls. The only thing I might do is use like a little bit of a leave-in spray if I need to detangle, but I usually will just reach for my gel because my gel usually has a lot of slip anyways. So the product that I have for this category is the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Refreshing Curl Foam. So this foam, I remember giving me such a sticky, producty feeling in my hair and no hold to it at all. So foams are usually not meant to provide hold at all, but this one, it says it's supposed to shape and add shine. So to be fair, I guess it's not, we'll just say flexible hold. So I always try and read like, what are they actually claiming and does it do that? And that's usually when I have an issue, if it's claiming to give you hold and it doesn't. But this just says non-aerosol refreshing foam, adds shine, controls frizz. It definitely doesn't control frizz, at least for me. Weightless flexible hold. So maybe a little bit of hold, but it's like the hold is that texturized, sticky feeling. And I feel like that's what a lot of brands think that hold is and will label that as hold. But I don't consider that hold. I feel like that's texture and grit that I don't like for my hair type. But somebody who has hair that's overly soft could definitely benefit from more grit. Like a lot of those gels that I mentioned that are too thick and too texturizing for me, people with super fine hair would love for volume. So that's definitely a trade-off. Like the more texture, the more volume you're gonna get, but for me, I don't like that gross feeling. So this definitely gave me a gross feeling. Don't recommend it. I love the Curl Talk products, just not this one in particular. Again, just use the stylers that you used on wash day to refresh. If you did want a recommendation for a foam for refreshing, I would say the Verb Curl Foaming Gel. I'll put up a photo here on the screen because I don't have it on hand anymore, but that foaming gel is more of a gel consistency. So I do really like my results for that with refreshing, but I have to layer a strong hold gel with it because that product gave me no hold at all. Like I didn't have any cast at all. It was just very softening on my hair, but I had really great curl clumps and my curls really did spring up, which was great, but didn't give me any hold at all. So I need to use a gel with that. I almost included that in this video, but I still think it's a great product. It would be good as a refresher because it's very watery. So you could probably refresh with just the curl foaming gel and not with any water. So that might be a good idea. So if that's something you're looking for, I would recommend that as an alternative to the Curl Talk foam. So I wanted to just remind you that if you're testing products and they don't work for you, make sure you try them again a different way. You really need to test products multiple times before you rule them out and make different tweaks to them. So if your gel or your styler didn't give you any hold, try using more of it next time or using less creams underneath or less water. As I mentioned, there's a lot of different things that cause not having enough hold, but sometimes it is just the product, but you really need to test it multiple times to tell and tweak certain things, but only tweak one thing at a time so you can see what makes a difference. If a styler is too drying for you, then try it with a curl cream or a leave-in underneath. So is there a product that you haven't seen me talk about and you want my thoughts on? Let me know in the comments below, and if I have tried it and if it did or didn't work for me, I'll let you know in the comments, but if I haven't tried it and you think I should, then I'll definitely be picking it up for some more testing videos, especially drugstore products. Like, is there anything that you really think I should try that you haven't seen me mention? Definitely let me know. I also just wanted to remind you about the shop page on my blog. If you're struggling with finding products, this is gonna help you so much because there's tons of filters on there that you can apply to narrow down the best products for you. So you can filter by hold level. So if you want light hold, or if you want strong hold, or maybe you need more moisture in your hair, or maybe you don't like aloe in your products, or you don't like coconut, there's filters on there for that so you can find the perfect match. I'll have the link for that shop page down below. And if you enjoyed this type of video, I recommend the de-influencing video that I did. I will have it linked right here on the screen, but I basically go through products that I don't think you necessarily need in your routine, especially as a beginner. So they're not necessarily products that I don't like. It's more so products that I think you could find a cheaper alternative for or something you could use for free. So I hope you enjoy that fun video as well, and I will talk to you over there. Bye everyone.